And what we do is pray and stay silent. No. Why do we see this in church, but we don't see this in any other place? But there came a very specific moment in time where the scales were removed from my eyes, and I saw him for what he truly was, a manipulator who's only using others for their influence and to capitalize on them financially. I watched as hundreds fell into his trap because of my endorsements, pouring hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into this man, into his vision, because we believed in him. And please understand, in this specific cult, we are groomed and conditioned to believe that this specific property is holy land. And this man is the shadow that covers us in song. And only through him will we be raptured. I'll show you where he teaches this, and I've saved it all. I have it all. Even texts and conversations between me and him where he's confirming this to me. He is the ancient being who has come to prepare us for this rapture moment. It's funny now, but it's not cool, bro. It's not cool. I still haven't been able to repair the fracture that this caused to my spiritual community that I built with others, that we all believe that I endorsed and brought to him. They trusted me enough to participate in this foolery and gave financially into this circus. And when I found out the truth, when I finally had that moment, I left. No fanfare, no drama. I walked away and I cut all ties. I walked away from people that I had built relationships with that I cared about. I left it all. Desperate attempt to discredit my own experience that I can prove. Everything that I posted from January 2025 until now has been on my own doing. No collaboration, no influence. Nice try though. So the last straw for me is when Mr. Holy Hustler was having a lunch with my friends that I brought to him. And that's really what broke the illusion for good. Because I've been seeing things, but this is like that moment, you know? He tried to deceive my friends that I introduced to him, that I was the very things that he was. Imagine being so puffed up that you think that my people, my friends, the people that know me, that know my character, that trust me, that trusted me enough to believe in you, would trust you over me. Talk about pride. Huh. And in time, I'll show you the unfolding and the evidence of how deceitful and nasty this man is. Because weeks later, he reached out to me to tell me that his angel came to him about me. And the time frame of his angel coming to him was a time frame of him sitting down with my friends, and then proceeded to gaslight me into thinking that something was wrong with me and that it was because I wasn't in full submission to him, because by this point I had kind of moved away and I was doing other things. God had me in a different place, right? By the way, this whole thing with my friends was an attempt to cover his tracks, because he knew at this point that I knew about his philandering. But we'll get there. It wasn't until I stumbled across G's experience with him that I started piecing it all together. When I spoke to an old friend, the same one at that Malibu lunch with him, I found out about EJ and what EJ had been, and that's when it hit me. The stories lined up almost verbatim to what I experienced and witnessed. And God kept me there long enough for me to see the truth myself. And I really do believe that things unfolded after I left the way that they did, and all of that came out after I left, because had I known the depths of it all, I wouldn't have stayed, and I wouldn't have been able to see what I saw and collect what I collected. It is not a surprise to me that women are still entangled in this man's web of lies, and they're afraid to leave because they're financially dependent. That is part of the manipulation. It's happened before and it's happening now. I can show you women as far back as 2018 and 2019. Catch that. I can show you. One particular girl, he coerced into a long-term relationship, even though she knew about his then living girlfriend at the time, was paying her rent and bills, and knew at the time that she was in need. And she hasn't spoken publicly about this part of her story, but you can find plenty of her content online where she speaks to the cult and the cult leader. But back to Gigi and the reason that I spoke up. This narrative that Gigi is hurt because he chose right. This is his words.
And I chose right.
Is absurd. It's not about picking one woman over the other. It's about the systematic exploitation and manipulation of countless women. I'm here to talk about the abuse and the corruption that I witnessed and experienced firsthand, and that I know happened to her. So stay tuned, because as I've been saying all along, I'm on your neck all 2025. This man really plays in your face, but I see right through this dark psychology. I studied it for years. I have an extensive background in sales and marketing. Nothing new. This is not new. Thinking he can scare me into silence. Nah. Oh, he got the right one. The one and the two. I'm about to unravel this entire empire built on deceit and manipulation. Peace.